Joe Biden, Joe the Tyrant Biden's first 30 days in the White House is completed. Discuss his achievements, his failures, which I think is far more failures than achievements. Been a complete disaster. From COVID, borders, unemployment, natural disasters, the economy, the foreign policies. This one big disaster. His plan of action is usually judged by the first 100 days historically. 30 days, I'm going to say he's the worst president in the history of America. Incompetent. Doesn't know where he's at. Joe the Tyrant Biden. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Patriot Nation TV. I'm your host, Tim Davis, your New Age Patriot with a 1776 attitude. Just one man, one opinion. As I was saying in the introduction, we have now completed 30 days. The Biden administration, its plan of actions, the course he's taken America in. 30 days are in history books. And I'm going to rate him on 30 days because I think he's done such a horrible job. I'm not going to give him the leeway of 100 days. Where the president, where everybody realizes the course that we're taking under his leadership or his how he represents us as a leader. And I think it's a complete disaster. And I'm going to give him a big fat F. So we'll start off with a little bit of what we were talking about. COVID. We could talk about COVID. Things that the news don't talk about anymore. They just suddenly disappear. COVID. 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 Control, oppress, victimize, isolate, and divide. That's what COVID is. So in 30 days under Joe Biden, unfortunately, like 90,000 plus passed away due to COVID. Don't hear about it, but there's no more ticker going all over the news cycles and AM radios, FM radios. You don't hear about it anymore. That's a harsh reality. Why his buddy Emperor Cuomo, the governor of New Yorkistan, the state that I live in, he gets caught fudging numbers and hiding data from federal government during the Department of Justice during the Trump administration. It's all coming out. And the media has us focused on Ted Cruz. Because he took his daughters to Mexico for 24 hours, 18 hours, whatever it was, during another one of Biden's disasters, the natural disaster in Texas. Joe Biden fumbled the ball on that, big time. 5 days later, you start sending aid. It's a whole different story. But, this whole COVID thing, Dr. Fauci, double masks, no double masks. And read an article where Fauci said, to get back to normal, it'd be like summer of 2022. Meanwhile, zero stimulus checks, still debating it. But in that 1.9 trillion stimulus check or bill, where you're supposed to get your stimulus checks out of, which you haven't received anything, but the money's already been set aside for the military-industrial complex. Like examples, $85 million for Raytheon. It's an arms deal for Chile. Another $197 million was put aside for a same company, Raytheon, missiles for Egypt. $240 million arms deal 1.2 billion missile defense, all in talks with other foreign countries. It's already put aside, What do we do with his executive orders? How we rewarded everybody but Americans. America last. 0 stimulus checks. Reneged on a lot of things. What else can we talk about? That's COVID. Oh, yeah. All the kids at the border that are in cages. Joe Biden still hasn't freed them yet. He's still keeping the kids separated from his parents. The news media doesn't report on this abuse. So all I heard for 4 years now, it's abuse. But now it's no longer newsworthy and it's not abuse. So yeah, he didn't, somebody just let me document that. It's February 21st, 2021. The start of Joe Biden's second part of a 30-day tour, of his 100-day tour. Complete failure. But let's talk about Ted Cruz. That's what's important. What else did this guy do? He's building military bases in Syria. Sent thousands of troops back into Syria, Yemen, Iraq. Why? Why are we sending our most valuable resources in harm's way? Makes no sense. What else this guy do? Obviously, froze the decrease in price of insulin, canceled Keystone Pipeline, killed thousands of jobs. Thousands and thousands of jobs. What else did this guy do? Oh, yeah. He refunded the Wuhan Institute. The laboratory over there in Wuhan, China, where this Chinese virus originated from and plagued every nation on earth with it. Shut everything down. But here we are, financing him again. And it's just funny. What else you could talk about here with this guy? So I give him a big F on everything related to COVID, borders. Stops the walls from, the wall from being built, where it's 3/4 built. The pipeline was 3/4 built, almost finished. Another couple months it would have been finished. He stops funding that. Stuff like that. Let's talk about the economy, unemployment. According to stats, in just 30 days now, the last unemployment update, it was like 865,000 Americans filed for unemployment. 865,000 Americans filed for unemployment. And at the same time, Joe the Tyrant and his Democrat criminal cohorts in the House and State Senate, they introduced a bill giving approximately like 11 to 20 million illegal immigrants citizenships. Yep. 865,000 Americans filed unemployment. And their solution to that is proposing a bill, introducing it for 20 million immigrants, illegal citizenship. Who's he really working for? Who are they fighting for? Doesn't seem like it's America first. It's more like America is last. Look at your gas prices. Gas prices are going up. I think oil, Friday shutdown was like $63. $63. That's the price of oil. It's rising drastically considering the end of November, early December was only like, $25, $26 a barrel. What's going on? What are these guys doing? Seems like they really have no course of action, no plan for America. The union guys, the pipeliners, the all union guys supported this guy, Joe the Tyrant. They lost their jobs. And it's just really bad. So I got to give him an F on everything. Also now with Joe Biden, there's still Americans still waiting on stimulus checks. What else we got? His industrial military complex. Go back to that a little bit. We had drone attacks on Somalia, last day or two. Do a little research on it. They don't give you any updates. It's from like 5 days ago. But I heard on the radio twice, Friday and this morning, AM radio, that the U.S. did use drone strikes in Somalia. Somalia. Why? What's the, as a taxpayer, question I want to know, as a taxpayer, why is my money being spent to drone bomb Somalia? What national security risk? What's the reason for that? I don't know. But the weird thing, the bizarro thing about everything, about that particular issue, is what's Congresswoman Omar. She was part of the squad. She was born in Somalia, but lived almost her whole life in Somalia. Now she's a congresswoman. She doesn't even speak out about the drone strikes. I find that weird too. Like, what are we gaining out of Somalia? What is one of our allies gaining from this? Is it Britain? I don't know. What resources? Like, why are we even bothering with Somalia? As a taxpayer, I think we should all be outraged by that. Why don't we know anything about it? It's not beyond the news. So we're just really wasting tax dollars because tax season's coming up upon us. And it's just, Joe Biden's a very, very incompetent leader. So I'm just giving him a big fat F. Big fat F. His foreign policy was an F. Borders are an F. COVID handling, because he has no plan of COVID. He even said so. No plan whatsoever. No plan for creating jobs, because he's crushing them. Crushing jobs. So obviously, he's not, trying to create jobs. Just real bad for America all the way around. So I'm just going to say, if Joe Biden, you got a big F. For me, I give you a big F. I give your administration a big F. After your next 30 days, which would be 60 days, we'll circle back to your first 60 days. We know what your first 3 days, what you did. 35 plus executive orders. We know what you did 20 days after, and here we are now. Full month. Joe the Tyrant Biden. Just destroying America with absolute buffoonery. No plan, no course of action. It's really sad. But anyway, we'll circle back to this in a future show. So I'm going to sign out. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. And I can always say, good night, everyone. God bless. God bless you. God bless America. Talk to you soon.